to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today. As you already know, we are still hanging out in Bloomington with the Baxters Season 2, Episode 2. Super excited that I am sticking to this schedule, just trying to stay in Bloomington, you know, as much as we deviate a little bit, do little other TV show reviews, because we do got shit read, and also we do got Hope's Journey, which we still gotta get more into that. And then yes, we always have like these movie reviews, you know, throughout the week too. So yes, y'all have to bear with me, okay? It's a lot out there, and I am not complaining because we love this. We got to keep this stuff out there. The more we watch, the more we talk about it, the more the chances that word will spread and we'll get more of these beautiful faith-based productions. But yes, okay, let's get started with this episode. Y'all already know what we went through last my last review. I caught y'all up with the season finale, as well as all these different things that went down in episode 1. All right, and here we are again in episode 2, and let's see what I want to say about this. Okay, so I'm very, very excited with Elizabeth, who had this project that she took on at the church, getting a nursery set up so all the parents can drop off their little kiddos, have somewhere to, you know, play and all of that, keep them busy while their parents are on worship service. So I was very excited that Elizabeth stuck with that project. And now we do see that it has come to a little bit of completion here. We get to see how far they've gotten with the colors, the different things that they're bringing there. So yeah, I was excited about it. I'm like, okay, you go, Elizabeth, because you need to stay busy and keep your mind on something good. Because my goodness, you know you have been receiving all kind of news for the longest, all right? Y'all know Landon is still in the hospital, and I did not appreciate when Ashley just said like one sentence and jotted out of there last episode. And this one I have to say, okay, Ashley is doing better, y'all. She really is. And I think part of that is helping with her having gotten hired at this nursing home, because a lot of times when you're younger, we feel like we got forever, okay? We feeling good, we looking good, and we just don't think about that one day that we could be in a place like that. That one day that you can always feel, well, one day you would feel closer to the grave than anything else. You don't think about that when you're young, okay? And it's understandable that you ain't thinking about all that, all right? And so I feel like with Ashley being here, it does put me in the mind of a scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes that talk about, and I'm just paraphrasing because I don't have it right in front of me, but it talks about the wisdom is in the house of mourning, something like that. And that makes sense, because like when you are at a place like this, like let's say at a hospital, which is one of the things Ashley kind of fear and stay away from, because yeah, who wants to really see somebody, you know, closer to getting up out of here? Most people don't know how to handle that. So I can understand her being a little bit afraid of dealing with somebody there. And then at a nursing home, it really reminds you of that, because it's almost like you are being prepared to get on up out of here. You start to lose different things little by little. And the people who work there, they're used to this. And Ashley, I don't think, obviously she's not used to this. She's a young woman and she just got hired here. And now in this episode, she's really getting to see what she got herself into. And ain't nothing wrong with that, y'all. But at the same time, I'm sure it puts a person in the mind of how precious life is, how precious relationships are here when you see these people who have lived full lives. They were your age once. They were dating. They went through getting engaged and got married and went on all these different jobs, had these different careers. They done it all. They're no different than you. It's just showing you your future, what is ahead. What do you have to look forward to? So it really do put, I mean, you could take it one way or the other. Some people take it in a terrible way, run from it, afraid of it, and almost try to like pretend like it don't exist. And then you got other ones who probably have a little bit more wisdom and like, okay, life is short. We really need to be prepared for one day we are going to meet the Lord. So let me just get myself together now and try to make the best decisions that I can make and all these different things. And I think Ashley is coming into that in this episode, because y'all know she's been battling back and forth with this whole Landon thing. Not sure she love him. I love him not. I love you not. All that kind of stuff. She's been dealing with that and never willing to come to some kind of conclusion on that. She's been running from it. It's like she runs from being loved. Like she almost fears it somehow. And I get it because she's been through that car accident, and that that was like her, almost like her near-death experience. So I can understand why she's a little afraid. And then she has her son, and I know how that can feel for her as well. So I can see how she's she tries to isolate herself in so many different ways, and she's not really ready to be loved. She's not really ready to love herself because she doesn't want it to fail. She doesn't want to feel, that sadness like a lot of people go through, because that's most people walk. Okay, it ain't an easy walk when you choose to step out there and love someone. You're making yourself vulnerable and all these different things, and most people fear that. And so Ashley is one of those people. But however, she gets close to these elderly ladies here in this episode, and you can tell that their mind comes in and out, and sometimes you can tell where they're stuck at. Whatever part that was so, I guess, important to them, their milestones in their lives, they kind of got stuck in that place. Of course, like we are in 2024, some of these women may be stuck in 1950 or something like that, when they got married, or when their husband went off to war, or whatever, all these different things. And you have to have a special kind of patience to deal with that. And Ashley is learning right here in this episode, do she really have patience? Is this really for her? But I see that she do have a little something there that I never gave her credit for, okay? And I'm just like, wow, Ashley, because most young people don't really deal with that. They don't handle that well. You can see the impatience, probably yelling at people, jacking them up, and all that kind of stuff, because it's an older lady who worked with Ashley who won't really care for her in this episode, and that's how she is, very impatient with these residents here, yelling at them, telling them to eat their breakfast, eat your food, and all of this stuff. She just seemed bitter and old, okay? And she probably took it to herself. Well, she probably know within herself, like, okay, you doing this to these ladies here, but you knocking at the door of that too, okay? And you acting like this toward these residents here. And I got Ashley, and Ashley stood up for herself in this episode, and she had every right to, okay? Y'all know usually I do not be on Ashley's team like that, but I gotta give it to her in this episode, because you got to stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves. And these elderly women here who obviously don't have their memory like that, they need someone to really care for them and stand up for them and love them and stuff. And this lady is just mean, like mean-spirited, y'all. I don't even remember her name like that. It ain't even really worth remembering here right now anyway, from how she was acting. But I give it to Ashley. Ashley had to tell her, like, what is your problem? Ever since I got hired, you act like you don't want me here. But guess what? I'm not going anywhere. And I was like, yeah, girl, Ashley, you tell her, okay? Don't be accepting that nonsense, that foolishness, okay? So I understood Ashley, like, even though it's hard, girl, you buckling down and you gonna stand where God got you at, okay? He planted you there for a reason, and you gonna blossom there. And I'm like, okay, it's all coming to all that stuff that your parents instilled inside of you, Ashley, all that goodness, that word, okay? And being like genuine and just like vulnerable and being like caring towards people, like all of that is coming to the surface here when she really needs it the most. Like her mind is literally not on herself right now, because there's a bigger picture here. There's these two elderly women here that I don't even remember the names, y'all forgive me, okay, that she is really like trying to be here for. And like they telling her, the lady here, her co-worker is telling her, do not cater to like they delusions, okay? Because they basically talking crazy or whatever. Don't cater to that, okay? Don't add to the story. You're adding to the problem. And I got Ashley here. I get where she coming from with that, but you gotta be mean about it. And Ashley, I don't feel like she's catering to their delusions by being nice to them and just like, okay, if one of them asks for where's Sue, and you telling her like Sue is coming Friday or whatever and all this kind of stuff, even though we know there's no Sue or whatever. I don't feel like she's catering to them. I feel like she is just meeting them where they are, okay? They are still human beings. They still have a life to live, even though they're not fully here, but actually trying to make them as comfortable as possible. And I was just like, wow, because that is a lot, especially coming from her, who is always self-absorbed and different things. I just feel like this is the perfect job for her, because this is really going to grow her up in the ways that she needs to grow up. And it shows, because when one of the resident's mind came to for a minute, and Ashley was able to really talk to her. She was telling her about the love of her life and different things, and answering Ashley like, how do you know if it's love? How do you know if you really love someone and this person really loves you? And she really gave her like some real jewels, y'all. And Ashley needed that because she has been going back and forth in her mind about Landon. Y'all know as of right now, Landon is barely holding on to life, and Ashley don't necessarily want to deal with it, don't know how to process it, because he always been like her knight in shining armor. He always been her hero, her superhero. Like, he was always there to save the day since she was little growing up. And so now it is like, wow, there's no Landon. What if it's no Landon forever from this point on for the rest of your life? How do you deal with something like that? You know, and I just felt like, oh my goodness, y'all taking me through it here, because I don't even want to feel that. I don't want to feel how it would feel not to have Landon there, and just knowing what Landon meant to her childhood, to her family. He has been a part of her family all of these years. And so with that lady giving her that advice, Ashley really took it to heart, and she did the right thing. Okay, I gotta give it to her in this episode. She went back to that hospital. She ain't say one sentence and jotted out of there like she did last episode. She went back there and she told him the truth. She admitted that she known that he has loved her, that he's in love with her. She's known that there's never been a doubt or question in her mind about it. And on top of that, she admitted that she loved him, and she had always loved him. And I was like, that's what we needed to hear, okay? You needed to let that out, all right? And I'm so happy you did that, Ashley, because Landon needed that. And regardless of what would take place after that point, at least you can feel good that you did the right thing, that you didn't hold back, and that everything was said that needed to be said. Because that is probably like the worst thing ever, that to have certain things, well, leave certain things unsaid, and you will never get the chance to do that ever again because the person is gone. That is probably got to be like the worst feeling. A lot of people are living with that, you know, have to live the rest of their days with those unsaid words that you probably play over and over in your mind, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not going to change anything. And so I'm so happy that Ashley won't have to experience that, if nothing else. And towards the end of the episode, y'all, okay, Landon came to it after she said what she had to say. Lil couldn't even get out the hallway good, y'all. Her sister came back and said he is awake, and I was like, what y'all doing? Remind me of Sleeping Beauty, okay? Landon heard all of that stuff. Who wouldn't fight, all right? Who wouldn't fight to come to? I knew at that point, Landon, you know, you saw the light. You ran to that light, okay? You probably was about to go the other way and say, okay, Jesus, me and you, we about to hang out. It's cool. I live a good life. I'm about to go with Jesus. And then when you heard the words, at that moment, you're like, oh, Jesus, is it cool? Is it cool if I go this way? Me and you, we gonna meet up later. You know, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Eternity coming someday, but do it gotta be today? And he ran down to that like, okay, he ran, and he opened his eyes, okay? And I was like, oh, Landon, honey, I'm so happy, all right? I'm so happy that you came to the truth, and the truth that you knew all along was confirmed to you today, honey. You deserve it, all right? And that's how the episode ended. I'm like, okay, where you taking us after this, Karen? Because I need to know what's gonna happen with these two. Is it what's the deal, all right? But yes, that's all I have for y'all for this video. That is what happened, y'all. But I'm not gonna leave y'all without a scripture, okay? We gotta go here first before we call it a night, all right? So we're coming out of Proverbs 18 verse 14. Fits this episode perfectly. The spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? Oh yes, y'all. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your raw take in the comment section below, because I do read everything and I do enjoy hearing from y'all. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.